at the other foot. So if you can get, I'll do it first, and then you can figure out. So basically, I'm going to take your foot, and you're going to stand right up on top of that for me. So I'm going to pull this up around the arch a little bit. If you bring your foot actually forward, I usually put a little piece of rubber underneath there to get people to stand on, just to level them up. So I'll basically pull this around.
Does that ever feel good on the foot?
Most people like this. Like I said, if you do this type of casting, your customers usually love it. Paul folds it that way. I fold it into like a pie type thing, so it doesn't really matter. It's like doing a plaster cast. You know?
How long does it take to set?
Not long, a couple minutes.
Really?
Yeah. It gives you some pliability too if you need to change something. Depends on if you leave it in the water a little bit too long and it's a little bit too mushy, it'll be sitting there for quite a while. So.
So the other thing is, we were asked, can we recycle this?
Yeah, I don't know if you can. I use it to wrap. You can have a seat there, John, if you want. I use it to wrap around the cast, like old stuff, just to fill it full of plaster. I haven't found any way of recycling it, so we chuck it in there.
So once it's full of plaster, and trying to clean that so that there wouldn't be any plaster left on the cast to recycle the thing is probably...
You probably could, because the thing is great about this. Like I said, what I usually do is I'm usually torquing your knee and doing that. I'm just giving you an idea.
Yeah.
But like this will come off. Like sometimes it's kind of wrapped around the plaster, but it literally comes off. And if you could reuse it, you know. But the problem, it's just like I said, it always seems like a little bit of a waste. So.
But really, the cost of this versus the cost of foam, there's not
It's not a big difference. No.
difference.
Foam, I think, is just people learn it. It's easy. I don't like foam because you always get a little bit more of an exaggerated. The heels are always a little bit wider. You get that exaggerated arch. You're doing a little bit more stuff. Like by the time I pull this off, it looks like a foot. You know, if I was doing a bunch of corrections or whatever, I could do that. It's great because it'll show things like drop metatarsals. If you got like a big callus, sometimes it'll show up right in the wax. Yeah, and when you take it off the foot, I mean, it's still reasonably pliable. So if you want to just kind of tweak it a little bit, you can do that, which is nice. It saves a little bit of work.
So if you had one of those type of things on the bottom of your foot, and you were to put it in a box, like in a foam box, sometimes it doesn't really show up as much as it would.
Not as much, yeah. That's the thing about sometimes those things, they don't really show up. And the problem with the foam is too, when you push in there, it depends on if it's older, sometimes it cracks. It doesn't always come out nice and smooth. No. So you got and plus you got a lot of cleaning to do on the sides. So what I usually do then, I'll get you lift your foot right off that, straighten out your leg. And I'll usually kind of push it a little bit in the mets and stuff, just wiggle your toes and shoot.
Wow.
So when you fill that full of plaster, so I can put that down there.